Hello, my Daisy Cakes. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a Get Ready With Me where I get into drag makeup to film a video later today. And I'm trying out Daisy Cakes. And I was like, where am I getting Daisy Cakes from? And it's because my cat Angel, I call her Angel Cake. Anyway, how's everyone's reading going? I've read a couple middle grades, which I don't need to talk about because they're not that great. And I started the book that broke the world, which is the second volume in the trilogy. Actually, it does say trilogy. I'm actually really excited about this because the Mark Lawrence book that wouldn't burn, which was my favorite book last year, this one came out, I believe, less than a year later, and they are marketing it as a trilogy. And trilogy is really my sweet spot. I really like fantasy and science fiction trilogies. And so I know it's going to be 3 books, and it was released less than a year apart. So I'm hoping the third book will be released less than a year apart, because if it's longer than that, sometimes I'll start to forget. I already do forget some of what's happened. But anyway, very excited about that. But the other thing, which is going to be my video today, I believe, is there was this book I read in the late 70s, and I couldn't remember what it was, except it was really heavily illustrated. And it was by a science fiction author that I really was one of my favorites at the time. And I think I got it out of the science fiction book club, but it could have been out of a Walden Books. I don't really remember. But I looked it up. I tried Googling it. I tried using ChatGPT, which was no help. And I even tried the Goodreads. They have a forum about what's the name of that book where people can try to figure out books they've forgotten about. Nothing helped. Nothing helped. So I decided I'm just going to go through year by year looking up illustrated books. And I found it was published in 1979. And I ordered it out of eBay. This is the book, Planet Story by Harry Harrison. And I was probably reading Stainless Steel Rat at the time, or it could have been Death World. I remember I had the Death World omnibus. But anyway, in Wikipedia, they called this, it's just like a little footnote in Harry Harrison's entry, and they called it a novella, but I think it's actually a short story, because look at how illustrated it is. There's like not that much text. So I think this is a short story that is illustrated. And it's this is before graphic novels. So I'm kind of excited to talk about that in a video. And I know my single book reviews don't do well, but I don't care. I'm going to do it. Okay. Oh, did I go through? We have Lynette. We have Lori. We have Frank. Yay. We have full house today. We have Are You Talking to Me? 2006. All right. Wow. You're reading Toxic Prey by John Sandford. Your favorite detective series. It's dynamite. Okay. I have to look it up. Toxic Prey. I am zooming through the Ella of Salisbury series. They are short and fast reads. Sometimes I just like short and fast reads. Mooney is here. Yay. Thank you for joining us. Persistence pays off. Yeah, it took me a while to find Planet Story, but I found it. Spoiler, it's not a great book. But the other reason why I really remembered Planet Story was because the premise was this young man who everyone fell in love with. Men, women, animals. But everyone that saw him, he was so beautiful, they fell in love with him. And so it was a little bit homoerotic, which when I bought it as a teenager was a pleasant surprise. I know it does look cool, doesn't it? Kayla is here. Hey, thank you for joining us. You watched 4 episodes of Shard Lake, which is a murder mystery set in the Tudor area, and immediately afterwards you started the second book in the series because the TV show covered the first book. I've never heard of it. I'm going to have to look that one up. Rewatch Danny Phantom. I'm going to have to look up this Shard Lake. Ella of Salisbury's on your wish list. Lynette, what is not on your wish list? I'm just kidding. I would say about Ella, they are better read than heard. I've done both, and even then need more editing. Okay, guys, so I need to get started. I had vaguely thought of doing pink today. So let's see where we go. Oh, I was also thinking of, because this is like I actually have the book and there's so many illustrations, of doing my video today not on green screen, because the colors would just not work. So maybe I'll do a video not on green screen. And I may, let me ask you guys this. Let's turn that off. I may do my Shelve It or Shove It for next month because I like pre-filming it. I'll either do it this week or next week. But I'm just coming to the conclusion that I am not a young adult reader. Because when I started this, a couple years ago, there were some young adult books that I really, really liked. I loved anything by Marissa Myers. She did the Cinder series. I liked the Hunger Games series. I liked, what's it called? The Scorch Wars, the Scorch series. And so I thought, oh, I'm a young adult reader, but I'm really not, because the last couple of books I got a young adult, some of them I liked, but some of them I'm not the audience for it. So what I thought to do, because I really wanted to do horror, but horror isn't on that Goodreads new releases by month. But what is on there, I just lost it. I thought I had the page up. And of course I don't. Okay, hold on. But what they do have on Goodreads, when you go to browse new releases, is if you have horror in your favorite genres, okay, I just posted the link. On that front page, they have like new releases in horror, but I don't know how often they update it because I don't know how often horror is released month by month. I assume they don't have it as a category because there aren't enough horror books to fill up a whole month. But what I thought I would do is just do like the first 5 books, and then next month, if they haven't updated it, I'll just go to the second row of 5 books. And if they haven't updated it the next month, I'll just go to the next row. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. Is for the next Shelve It or Shove It, no young adult, but doing horror and choosing the books that way. I don't know. Kayla is here. The author of Shard Lake, C.G. Swanson, died a few days before the show. They dropped. Oh, that's too bad. That is so sad. I think why is a genre that I'm slowly leaving as I grow older, which is so weird. Well, a lot of I think, here's my opinion on young adult. I think it has been really warped by Twilight. I think when Twilight came out, the books were so popular that they started doing more of those like paranormal romances, but everything is romance heavy in young adult. And I think readers of young adult just stuck with it even when they became adults. And of course, publishers are going to cater to whatever that audience is. And so the young adult market has really been catered to adults who used to read young adult and who really read it for those romance stories. And nowadays, young adult is pretty much considered by teenage boys as sort of a girls category. So it's really been is serving sort of a different audience. Lynette's never liked YA. There are some good books. I'll stand by. Marissa Meyer's Cinder series is super good. And like I said, I like the Hunger Games. And there's a couple other series I like in there. Also think you should swap YA with something else. Yeah, I wish horror was one of those categories, but I think I can make it work by using those horror new releases. Only YA I like, it's an old book called Light in the Forest, and you've got a beautiful edition from Germany. You think I've read about 2 YAs in your life. Well, my thing is, Mooney, is I don't like the other genres. I mean, there are some mysteries I like, but pretty much like thrillers, romance, I just don't like those books. So I need to, because I'm choosing a book to read, and if I don't like the genre. Yeah, Kayla, I know there are YA books I would like, and I'll check out the Raven Cycle, but it's just like picking a month by new releases. It hasn't been working. I read a lot of YA as young when I was 18 to 19. Most people read YA at 28. The Twilight film is one of those things that girls bring their boyfriends to, kicking and screaming. I didn't mind the YA. I actually liked the films more than the books. Yeah, that's okay. I knew what you were talking about, Lynette. Okay, so I was thinking about doing some pink. And whenever I introduce red into it, it doesn't go well. Because I like to do the dark and then ombre it. So I'm just going to use pink. Let me get because dark pink is really red. Actually, you know what? I'm going to sort of start with black and just to map out a shape. I'm very quiet. Okay, there's my shape. Just finished Extinction by Douglas Preston. A little disappointed. 3.5. Yeah, I think I saw that on your comment in the latest Shove It or Shove It. Have you heard or seen what happens? Yeah, I saw that author Frieda Moon. If you don't know about that, there are other booktubers that I'm sure are covering that. But basically, there's this person who's this allegedly a white woman, or maybe a white trans woman or trans man. I don't know, but they it's apparent they're apparently a good writer, but they they write in like Latino face or something. They start saying they're a race that they're not, and there's like these elaborate um, schemes to cover who they actually are, and they get agents and they get published, and then detectives on social media figure out who they actually are, and they've done this like several times. It's wild, wild. Sort of like Jurassic Park with animals from the Pleistocene era. Uh, the animals were more of a backdrop to the story. What was the central theme then? The Latinas come in all colors. Yeah, it's you guys. If you want to know more about the Frida's Moon, look it up because it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing because they definitely, when the agents found out that they've been lied to, they dropped them, and there's all sorts of thing. It does have mammoths. Well, mammoths were pretty. I don't know the periods, but I know they were pretty late, or they lasted pretty late. Heard about this in the Cat Corain drama. The legs people go to, it's crazy. Rebecca Roanhorse's. Well, when you go to Indigenous or American Indians, yeah, that always gets. Extinction was more of a murder mystery. Oh, now I'm interested. Okay, guys, I gotta lay some colors down. Oh, I watched that Netflix series, The Dead Boys Society, or Detective Agency, The Dead Boys Detective Agency, which are about. I had no idea it was a spin-off of Neil Gaiman's Sandman books. So I thought that was interesting. Oh gosh, this looks purple. It looks pink in the pan. This top one. Okay, we may end up with a purple look today. Anyway, it's a cute series. I am kind of curious about the graphic novel it's based on. And it is what it sounds like. It's two ghosts, these two boy ghosts, who solve murder mysteries, um, or not murder mysteries, but mysteries that other ghosts have, usually involving how they died. And I looked it up online, and it appears that the boys they aged up the boys for the series, but which is fine by me. But they introduced one of the boys as being gay, which I thought was interesting. And rather than it being sort of a gay love story duo, it's like um, it appears that one of the boys maybe like have an unrequited attraction. But I enjoyed the series and would continue watching it. I don't know if I'm interested enough to get the graphic novel because I don't normally read graphic novels anymore. I mean, I used to love comic books, but okay, does this look pink on screen? Kind of. Okay. It was more so that they were white and pretending to be a brown Latino, and the fact that they had faked multiple different identities to hide away from the drama they had started. Exactly. It, like I said, you guys need to Google it, or I'm sure there's other booktubers that are covering it, but it's pretty wild. Has mammoths, giant sloths, giant elks. If you could be straight for one day, Daisy, would you do it? No. No, thank you. I have a friend staying with me, and she's choosing what we stream. We picked Godless, which is a Western. Well, I'm not really into Westerns, but I thought Godless was about. Um, I'm sure there's other movies called Godless, but the one I'm thinking about was about a couple that cloned their son who died or something. Okay, I'm going to go to a bright pink. If I can find a bright pink. Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. This bright pink. Mostly purple, but pink flashes at moments. Are you keeping up with all the drag races? No. Oh, Kayla. Reality TV is just getting boring for me. Jeff Daniels is the baddie. I'm gonna have to look. Well, no, I'm really not interested in westerns. It's all this about the African woman. It was written by a guy who used to be a cook. Um, I am a huge, huge fan of Drag Race because I started watching it when it was on Logo when it first came out. What was probably more than 13, 15 years ago or whatever. And I watched it every year religiously. And then it spun off to the Drag Race All Stars. I was watching that. But then when it started spinning to other countries, I couldn't keep up. And I actually got burnt out on Drag Race. I never thought I would be burnt out, but there was just too much. I couldn't keep up. So I stopped watching it for a year, and I just came back to watch this season 16. And I'll probably watch All Stars, but then give myself a break because it has just gotten out of control. And God bless anyone who can keep up with all those seasons of Drag Race, but I got really burnt out. But I loved going to drag shows before Drag Race, and I was a big fan of RuPaul um, back in her days when she did like Supermodel. And in fact, I went to I lived in San Francisco, and they had a gay pride in San Jose. And the San Jose group, gay pride was usually very, very small because San Francisco sort of overshadowed it. But RuPaul was the hosting. This was way before Drag Race. The San Jose Gay Pride. So I drugged my friends to go there, and it was hilarious because it was so small. It was just this one little stage, maybe I don't know, a couple dozen people like watching RuPaul. But she performed, even though she had this small audience and it was a small gig, she performed her ass off, and so she was like in a huge stadium. It's looking blended. Yeah, I'm so tempted to go in with red, but I know red's going to. It's never worked out when I've tried to deepen pink with red. And deepening it with purple just makes it look purple. Okay. Let's think of something else. It also has the guy who plays Jojen in Game of Thrones, who's a lot older than he looks. Huh. I prefer my drag race to involve cars. You're not the only one, DK. I prefer my drag race with drag queens. But I'm godless. I really like it. I feel like there should be longer breaks for the All Stars. Yeah, I agree with you, Kayla. Just it's too much. It's gotten out of control. I used to love Drag Race, but yeah, there are way too many to keep up. You're not talking about car. Well, you're looking at a drag queen doing drag makeup, so yeah. Okay, I think I'm just going to let me highlight. Okay, just put on some white. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I'm going to go back to the black and just deepen it with black and not try to use red. So talking about Harry Harrison, has anyone read Harry Harrison? Because he is a big name in sci-fi, but he's not that big. He's not like Asimov or Clark or. And I really do think he's sort of the humor prototype for like Douglas Adams and John Scalzi. Because he really went deep into satire. Almost 2:30. Need to go soon. Everyone have. Thank you, Lori, for joining us. I'm not sure what book to start next. Lynette. I've read some Harry Harrison, but not very recently. I think I read one by him. Well, his claim to fame was Make Room, which became Soylent Green. But I remember really liking Stainless Steel Rat and Death World. Just trying to blend this black in. The other thing he's written is Bill the Galactic Hero, which I actually haven't read, but I've talked about. Because it was supposed to be a response to Heinlein's Starship Troopers. Okay. Last book was Make Room. Read Death World decades ago. Well, it's been decades for me. It's about climate change. Oh, Make Room. It's about overpopulation. Make Room. Also read his Eden series, which has dinosaurs in it. That is all I remember about it. Okay, I need to put on eyeliner just to map out. Okay. Okay. They're about to bring mammoths back, but we don't need dinos. Seems like it'd be easier to bring back a something from an egg rather than a mammal where you need a womb. But I guess I could use elephant wombs to gestate a mammoth. But poor elephant. Whereas an egg, reptiles, seems like it'd be easier. You know what I was thinking about doing? Is filming without a green screen. I mentioned that earlier, but that means I could use green eyeshadow. Which I guess is too late for that, but no, actually I'm going to film Shelve It or Shove It probably today. So never mind. Isn't it weird that there's been decades have passed since we've read some books? For those of us who are of a certain age. But a book is good when you remember anything about it, which ends up being more than you can remember from like a book you've read last year or last month. Okay, so what I'm going to do trying to think of what color to do the lid because I think I'm going to go away from pink. I could do either a sunset or blue. Sunset being red, orange, yellow. And blue is a nice contrast. Let's do sunset. Here we go. Lynette spun her wheel and got the Apollo murders, which is about the Apollo 18 mission. think astronauts are murdered in it. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, they use some elephant stuff to make the mammoths. Bring back the thylacine, the Tasmanian tiger. Its habitat still exists. Ooh. When did it go extinct? Last known one died in captivity in the 1930s. Oh, gosh, I hate it. I mean, when you think of dinosaurs, it's like a million years ago, but yeah, 1930s. A lot of things in Australia went extinct. The dodo, the didn't think Kirk kissed some green woman on Star Trek, or was it Scotty? It was definitely Kirk. They aren't that far off creating artificial wombs, which might help. The last thylacine was Benjamin, and my dad saw him in the zoo when he was a child. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what did I say? Sunset? So I am going to go in with some red. Or actually, let's start with yellow. Then oh, I do have a, yeah, I like this Spectra red. Okay. I don't know if you can tell how messy this looks, but it's very messy, but I'm going to blend it and then put a duochrome over this. Actually, this kind of looks good without the. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Tasmania's had very few. Tasmania has had very views extinction. I think few extinction when compared to the rest of Australia. The thylacine, 2 subspecies of emu, and Lake Pedar worm is about it. Some people keep wild pets as pets. I would never do that. Very few. Okay. Yeah, there's the savanna cats that are, is that what they're called? Savanna cats that are the cross between a wild cat and a house cat. And they're supposed to be very dog-like, but depending on how many generations down you go, they can be very challenging pets to keep because they're part wild. They have some of that, those wild genes left. Okay. Sunset done, except I want to blend out a little bit with some black. Okay. Okay. Who knows if this is going to work? I think it's going to work. Stay positive. Believe there are more tigers in the USA than, oh, that's so sad, than the wild in Asia. Talking about savannas, Frank. Just Google savanna cats. Rico is here. Ligers, yeah, cross between tigers and lions. Australia bans many animals as pets. No hamsters or gerbils. Interesting. Well, Australia got hosed by rabbits, right? Didn't they just become sort of a invasive species? Axolotls are banned in Tasmania. I don't know what an axolotl are. Yeah. Oh, no. That was a Richard Gere joke. Oh, Frank. Okay, so we're going to go with some black chroma cake. But yeah, there were some stories about the rabbits I remember reading about in Australia. Oops. Is anybody watching the new season of Star Trek Discovery? Because I am not. I saw it came on and I was like, I wasn't a big fan of of the Federation not existing anymore. That was in the prior season. And I don't know, I'm just it's like Drag Race. You think you'd never get sick of something like Star Trek? But in this case, it just didn't go in a direction I cared about following. Okay. Rico says axolotl are also the tanks used to make golems in Dune. Oh, I never knew that. Seed pick says something like that in Florida. Very creepy. Rarely develops into their adult form. Another Star Trek, yes. I actually like the, I don't know if it's the first season or first two seasons with the Michelle Yeoh was the captain, and you find out that there's like a mirror universe. I think that's the first two seasons. I know I like the first season, but yeah, you're not the only one that doesn't like Michael Burnham, the main character. Never got through season one because she annoyed you. Have no interest in new season Discovery. And you've hung with it for years. Interesting. I really liked Picard, though. I liked, that was 3 seasons. I know I got confused with how many seasons in Picard, but I like that one. Get Discovery, some of it is really good. Just over it. Kurtzman, Star Trek is the worst. Totally trekked out. Hey, John, thank you for joining us. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of trekked out too, which is weird because I'm such a big fan of the original at the time. You know, since I have orange in the crease, I'm going to put some orange as blush. See how that works. Okay. And I'm just going to continue with pink underneath. Okay. Gosh, I look up into the viewer and it's like, can you guys even see anything I'm doing? But hopefully, when I actually film it, you'll see it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine. Was annoyed by the first season of Discovery until you realized it was a different universe. Picard to go boldly where nobody's gone before. Yeah, I am too. Looking forward to the new House of the Dragon. Oh, I thought they were done with the Umbrella Academy. Oh, that's exciting. There's a new Umbrella Academy and the new Doctor Who will be watching. National Geography Channel too, but the same thing. All righty. John is there, so we're going to do the lips. I don't know if that's what type of segue that was, but and we're just doing red. Um, this off. John, improving day by day, much better movement in her left arm now, can get up to a 45 degrees. So glad to hear that about your wife. So glad. Fourth season of the Umbrella Academy will be the last. I kind of like that they have like they have a conclusion in mind. Like with Babylon 5, it ended just at the right point. I know they tried to reboot it as Rangers or whatever, but it's nice when there's a conclusion. Oh, Frank, if you haven't seen the Umbrella Academy on Netflix, check it out. Yeah, I expected a second season of Wednesday. That was very popular. Uh, Umbrella Academy is more science fiction than fantasy, and it's more adult. So, no. But there is a school, but no. uh, Too bad JK Rowling got in trouble with some of these trans people. A lot of these trans people. Not long up. Yeah, we're a little over an hour, and I got most of my makeup done. But a group of people all born on the same day who developed special powers. Right. And there is a school. They are collected by this eccentric, shall we say, person, shall we say. My favorite Netflix sci-fi show is Sense8, however. What's someone doing? God, I can't read any of the, there we go. Trying to read this little tiny print. Because I like this shade Immortal. Let me get my... I got these lips right the first time. Don't ask me to do that again. And I think I'm going to... I'll put gloss on for now, but for the videos, I'll probably put some shimmer eyeshadow on. Only watched the first season of Umbrella. It was good. Very disappointed in the Rangers movie. The Power Rangers. A little like Marvel X-Men. Oh, the Rangers of Babylon 5. Yeah, Babylon 5 is fine just with the root original series. They didn't need to go on, but I understand why they did. I will say that the Umbrella Academy is quite different than superhero shows. They are quite dysfunctional as a family thanks to the billionaire who adopted them. Yeah. What, the lips? The I was annoyed the Marvel movies reinvented Namor origin. Yeah, that was odd. Do I ever gamble in the casinos, Rico? I don't really. Well, I'll play like I'll lose like $20 in a slot machine. If I'm like out with friends and they want to go to the strip, which I usually never go to, and we're seeing a show or something, and you can lose that much money like that. It's just ridiculous. So I would say I don't really call myself a gambler, but if I'm in a casino, I will throw a few bucks at a slot machine just to be sociable or something. I don't know. But never more than $20. Favorite character is number 5 from the Umbrella Academy. If I became a billionaire, I'd probably be dead in no time at all. Okay, so let's put on some jewelry. So I thought I was going to do a pink look, so I got a lot of pink jewelry out, but this looks more sunset than pink. Who cares? Let's do pink necklace. Should do these. My wife likes the casinos. I find them boring. I go to the library or game store when in Las Vegas. There's actually, if you like art, there's a really interesting art neighborhood in Vegas. I want to see that wig. Yeah, okay. Casinos are boring. But Lynette, if you like walking, it is kind of interesting just to walk around the casinos and people watch, and there's all sorts of exhibits and displays. Should I do this or a daisy earring? Because I have these pink daisies. I think I've done this look before recently. I like the daisies. South of Fremont. Yeah. It's near, yeah. Yeah. We have a lottery here that's just sneaky way of taxing poor people. Where the big bug is, it spits fire. I don't think I've seen that, but it sounds like Vegas. Okay, for the wig, I grabbed this big reddish, but with the pink, highlight. Oh, you know what I forgot? Okay, I'll try to do it with the wig on. I forgot eyelashes. Okay. Yeah, it's a big wig. Okay. Oh, this got wonky. Hmm. I'm gonna have to redo this eyelash. I just, I may have to redo these eyelashes off camera, but I'm taking too long. So let me just slap on the other one. So we're not here forever. It actually may be time to retire these eyelashes. Now that one looked okay. Why does this one look so funny? Okay. Okay, that took way too long. John Crowell wants to know or his wife wants to know where I got my wigs. I got them from a Etsy seller called Friston, Friston. Um, he's from Hawaii. He's a retired Hawaiian theatrical wig maker that just does drag wigs as a hobby. Let me get his Etsy shop. But you have to, whenever he like puts something for sale, you have to grab it fast because he only makes like one wig at a time. Oh my goodness. He's having a flash sale. So thank you, Lynette. Yeah, they do. You can still sell your hair. There's something called Locks of Love where you donate hair that is used for kids with going through chemo. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. I try. We try. Okay, I'm going to put on some gloves just to finish the look, and then we are done. There is this art exhibit in Vegas that I want to go to. it's like a shopping mall or a shopping. It looks like a grocery store, but everything is a piece of art. And I forget what it's called, or I'll look it up for you. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, this is the final look. We went with pink with a sunset cut crease and red lips and a red pink wig. And I think it turned out okay. Hey, John. Yeah, don't worry about it. No worries at all. Okay, guys, I will be back next week. Again, I am filming a video this week on this book I got, which I had read when I was a teenager and I've been searching for, called Planet Story by Harry Harrison. And I may do this for the first time with no green screen because I want to show off this book, and green screen does weird things to colors. And I may do Shelve It or Shove It, and I may be dropping the young adult category and figuring out a way to do a horror category. So I could do science fiction, fantasy, and horror in Shelve It or Shove It. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay, guys, thank you once again for joining the stream. And as usual, may all the books you read be blessed.